against like anti-mage but it's still only 14%.
But that's when you remember Maiden needs to get level 15 and then you laugh.
Or you know
because
what,
that doesn't even happen.
Over.
You know what I would like actually if they change it so that it's only mana loss, maybe. Would that be too strong? If they made it like 25% mana loss reduction, but it didn't reduce spell costs, would that be too strong?
The talent?
Yeah, that way it could be like this is our solution against a mana drainer.
How does it work with like Medusa then on your team? That'd be crazy. And how the Mana Shield interaction would be?
Oh, that's the Maiden niche right there. Right there.
Not sure if it affects that or not.
All right, I think we.
Well, we talked about Crystal Maiden for a good 15 minutes there. Thank you guys.
She deserves it.
Random ass question, but
what
yeah,
a good old hero.
She definitely got under the limelight. I'm sure the Frog's taking notes, but we have it finally. It is time for game number 1 of our semi-final playoff action CIS International 2018 qualifier coverage. ESPADA versus Windstrike, a.k.a. FlyToMoon.
They still have their Bitcoin logo, though.
But they are still Bitcoin. I don't think Windstrike had their graphics guy ready to go that fast. So.
Nor did the FlyToMoon guy.
No, yeah, or they didn't submit that logo properly.
I love how low effort their flags are. They're just like, whatever, we'll just take our Bitcoin logo and put there. And
it's so low effort, it's not even funny how low. It's literally like an image that they downloaded from Google Image and uploaded.
That's
it's
straight up the Bitcoin Google image
like,
right there.
If they like
10 seconds
if they
work.
made something, okay, sure. It's something bad and then they put it as their flag, sure. But like that's come on, that's too low effort.
Maybe you need to have something. Maybe that's in the rule book, huh?
It's transparent shilling.
I don't think you have to have a flag. I'm pretty sure you don't.
I don't think so, but it's like the easiest thing to upload when you make a team in Dota. It's like upload an image, and you're like, Bitcoin logo,
Bitcoin. Great. ESPADA wins this draft based on flag alone. Established.
Pretty standard bans so far. Wisp and Chen banned against Windstrike. No big surprise here.
No Bounty Hunter ban though.
This is what I'm going to be curious about. Is Bounty Hunter... FlyToMoon let it through. I was talking about they might ban this when their first pick because they had like a free ban and you don't give Bounty Disruptor duo. Question for me is whether Windstrike want to grab one of them first if they're both in the pool or not. What else is appealing here? Beastmaster.
Sky has been a popular first pick.
ESPADA banned Bounty.
They banned the Bounty.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's going to be a pick in this series.
Bane.
We might see a first pick Disruptor.
Bane was left through.
I think he should pick it, actually.
Maybe something to prepare for a Lycan already.
Bane's a first
oh,
pick
Lycan could be
material.
first pick too. Nice. Yeah, that's the one we forgot about. That's good. That's a good pick.
Somebody did say Lycan.
Yeah.
Do you think ESPADA would...
Did you both say Lycan?
Somebody said Lycan.
Dakota definitely mentioned.
I definitely heard Lycan.
You guys are.
That's what Dakota does. He just repeats my stuff, and then we both look smart, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Nice one. So Beastmaster, Disruptor. Disruptor doesn't really like facing Lycan though. I feel like that's a pretty bad matchup, but they might go for it regardless. Or we just do something totally different.
When you guys mentioned Underlord in the last series, I was like, you know, Underlord would have really helped in that game when Lycan's running down his cores and they can't stop it. It's like, just get the root. Boom. Everything gets stopped.
So I feel like they forgot about him in that last series, I feel.
There's like, okay, enemy team has Lycan, we need Crimson Guard. That's basically what happened here, I think. And they like the Underlord as their Crimson Guard hero of choice. This is a super defensive opening, by the way. They have 2 saves. They have Song and
you can basically keep Lycan in Pit of Malice or just root it for 10 seconds. Pit of Malice, Naga Siren, and Snare, and another Pit of Silence.
Their Naga play is pretty good. I mean, they played Naga every time they didn't get Bounty Hunter. So
Immersion. When I think of Immersion, I think of 3 heroes. It's Naga, Bounty, and Skywrath Mage.
I didn't even know he had a third. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we'll see it someday. Has he actually played Naga or Bounty every game you've seen?
So far, yeah.
Okay.
Naga, Bounty. PL.
Phantom Lancer band. They're setting up for a Lycan game here. The thing that Windstrike need to be a bit careful of, in my opinion, is trying to give Lycan too good of a game. Like now they're banning PL. Are they trying to? How much are they trying to set up for this Lycan to succeed when eventually he will have a hard game? He's playing into Ensnare. He's playing into Song. He's playing into Crimson Guard. Maybe you want to try to prepare to let your other heroes have a good game. Shadow Fiend ban by ESPADA.
That's unusual.
Iceberg loves this hero.
I mean, they have Clockwork,
Yep.
so maybe you're just figuring that plus Heavy Magic Burst.
Absolutely.
I think that's the reason.
I think they wouldn't ban it if
Shadow
Clockwork wasn't
Fiend.
it.
just because you have a Clockwork and give him that extra damage, yeah, it helps in the laning stage, so maybe he can snowball a little bit, but if you kill him once, twice, it's all gone.
It's pretty good against Underlord too, I would argue, because all of his damage is from like plus damage stuff, and he does all magic. It's like perfect.
It's pretty decent. I think SF is an okay ban. I don't think it's fantastic, but it's the right team in this qualifier to ban it against. I actually don't think any other team would even pick the hero. That's the Disruptor ban into the Naga combo.
Yeah, obviously Disruptor would be sweet to pair with the Spotter right now. Song setup with Static and Underlord's toolkit would be pretty ridiculous. So, and they've ran it a bunch of times already in the previous series.
So I'm curious if Windstrike want to take a page out of Serenity's book. They actually ran a Clock Silencer combo and used the global to allow their heroes to jump on heroes when they hook shot in. I think Silencer has quite a bit of merit in this game. It prevents Song of the Siren from coming out. It prevents the defensive spells from Underlord from coming out. It's a decent lane support against a hero like Underlord, just consistent harassment with pure damage glaives. I'm looking for ways to ensure that Lycan gets to hit stuff, because that's my biggest concern right now, is Lycan doesn't get to hit stuff.
Yeah, I was surprised we haven't seen too much Silencer. I mean, you got Warlocks in play, and we saw a lot of Axes last game. It's like one of those things kick off. You could also just use the Silence defensively and just cut their whole combo right in half.
I love to play Silencer, but he's either hit or miss. Either you're gonna have a really good time as a Silencer, or just gonna feel so underwhelming. So this is a classic combo, Naga Siren into Jakiro.
Yep.
Plus combine that with Underlord. I think Windstrike is gonna need Pipe carrier. Yes.
Pipe for sure.
Pipe or multiple BKBs.
I don't know if Clock's a 3 and the person they want to likely still going to be the 4 position, but they'll need their own, mitigator of damage.
My sandwich is still here, guys. You want to see the inside? There it is. It's waiting for me.
What's in it?
Soon. It's like egg. The bread is really nice. There's avocado, spinach, and a little tomato.
Oh,
it's really good.
That's really healthy.
It was a really good sandwich, actually, which is why I'm upset.
That's not a sandwich. There's no meat in the sandwich.
That doesn't have to be.
I think the sandwich is defined by the bread,
the
top and bottom. Yeah. But then again, there's the whole dispute.
Well, you can put a finger between 2 slices of bread. Is that a sandwich?
Yes.
I don't know.
That's a finger sandwich.
No, that's closer to a hot dog, which also could be closely related to a sandwich. So you got to be careful. Hey, Skywrath Mage just come out.
So with Jakiro, it's a good lane support. Essentially, he's kind of fallen off in that role compared to heroes like Sky and Warlock. But I think he's a substitute, and he does combo with the Naga. But I think Sky should be able to out-harass him. Maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of depends. If he gets too close, Jakiro will hit way harder. But
Skywrath will bully Jakiro auto lane. I'm pretty sure.
And Clock,
you just play space.
Clock against Jakiro is kind of okay for Clock too, I would say.
Oh, it's a great matchup in the game. That's one of the side benefits of Clockwork against Naga, actually, is the cast time of Song of the Siren is so long that you can't get it off if you're caught in Cox with Battery Assault. That might be a play that we'll see them try to go for, and could perhaps be part of the reason they picked the hero. Oh, wait, what was the pick order? It was Lycan first pick. Yeah, so they did see both when they picked the Clock. Where do you go from here? So ESPADA, a very 5-man heavy, but they don't have damage.
Do you think they're
damage
gonna
over time only? Gyro?
Go another Pug? I was gonna say Pugna line up and push on top of Jakiro already.
Pugna is appealing. You're playing
and then you're against a Skywrath Mage. Yeah.
Decrepify is great against Lycan until he has Necro 3.
Yeah. Nope. Gyro, like you said. So you got it.
Both are fine. Gyro can stand his ground against Lycan when the Crimson Guard is up. Until then, Lycan should have his number, pretty much.
And then he can clear things faster. He can combo with Naga combo as well, and he just does a lot more damage. And he also gives him late game longevity to scale into like a serious threat with
it's a very
X and stuff.
Solid pick.
Like and BKB obviously. So yeah. Kind of
Clockwork now has kind of multiple targets to have to deal with now. Before you were praising how he could just jump the Naga, but now it's like. If he was to get a blade mail, it might be decent against the gyrocopter. If you jump him and blow him up, so it's like
it's a great Clockwork game.
So yeah, so now you're like,
so good here.
Well, that means now the Naga should be able to get away with getting a song off then. So
true.
He'll have to be pick and choosy about these fights and who's the jump, and it could cost the whole fight at that point. So I like the idea of ESPADA, even though it's maybe not Gyro's not the best against Clock. It's like. It used to be like the thing when teams would pick Doom, so you're like, oh, we'll just get a bunch of people he has to Doom. That way some people are going to be fine and it doesn't matter.
Well, they need some kind of a setup, I think, for Skywrath Mage other than Clockwork ult. That's the obvious one, but I'm sorry, that's the opposite team. Sand King's still in the pool. That's maybe the obvious one. I don't know if you like Sand King too much against Underlord, I guess.
No,
But
I don't like Sand King Clock. I don't think it's good. I think they want to do the same thing to an extent. They want to like jump in and stun, and then you have Sand King who needs a dagger. So if you put Sand King, you have to put him 3. I think you force your Clockwork into a position 4.
which I assume it will be.
If you take Sand King.
I guess. But
What's that?
I assumed that it would be. We saw a lot of.
okay.
There's a lot of Sand King offlane that we saw in the other stream.
I think this is a great Clockwork game, so I wouldn't mind seeing it as a 3. That is still up in the air. What this is? This could be anything.
I like it.
It's not really that valuable to keep your options open as much when you are first pick at this point, because you have to pick 2 heroes in a row anyway.
I think it's absolutely fine though, because like all the damage on the enemy team is almost all magic right now. So if he gets a BKB, you actually doesn't have to worry about this like mid game. Can I survive against all their damage thing? He's still gonna take gyro damage with flak and stuff, but like a BKB and some mana items, he's fine. So maybe you can just go like Yule's BKB and actually fight.
Yeah, Yule's BKB sounds good this game. It also makes it a bit harder for Underlord. He doesn't get the same value out of Crimson Guard because there's a lot of magic damage too, so now he needs Crimson and Pipe to make sure that people stay alive. If they would have picked a more physical-oriented type of mid-pick, then one item would ruin them really bad.
They could use some
Plus
maybe burst on ESPADA if they want to go for Lina. They don't know the matchup. It could be Lesh, but she should do fine against Lesh. Or maybe it's a good Bloodseeker game this time. They will be aggressive on both lanes if they pair up Underlord Naga, Jakiro, and Gyro. And it's really good against the Lycan. Not the best against the Clockwork though.
I'm liking Bloodseeker for the Radiant. I could see that. Blood Rage the Gyro with Flak Cannon.
That's dire.
Oh, now are they mixed again, Rob?
No.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they did.
Why is Dire on the left? I'm so confused. Thanks, Rob.
Oh, I thought I had it right. It said Bloodseeker would be good against the gyro. Is that what you
No,
said?
No, I said Bloodseeker would be good against Lycan, but I said he was on Radiant.
Oh,
but they're
okay.
Dire on the left. So
Like that idea.
yeah, Bloodseeker could be good. There's a lot of good targets for Blood Right. It really sucks for Leshrac to get hit by. They guarantee setup with Ensnare for it.
I mean,
Pit of Malice with it would be nice.
They can do like Naga Siren ulti into setup, which is a guaranteed silence follow up. Like,
Yeah,
like
that's nice. Oh,
well,
nice.
now I'm confused. You should
Let's
have
go,
waited until
Rob.
after the game is over, obviously.
Very quick.
All right. Well, they banned the TA. I mean, instantly, I think like maybe it could be a Lina, and this Lesh will be not mid, and they head elsewhere.
I think
but,
picking
or
Lesh
could be support,
and Lina against Underlord is just way too suicidal.
If he gets a pipe, you won't do anything. You also need a more reliable setup for Lesh usually. Okay.
Support Lesh. Or support Clock. I'm pretty positive this will be
No,
mid Mirana.
that's Mirana mid.
That's an iceberg hero. So they'll put Mirana mid,
Okay.
and
I like it. It's like so team fighty that Mirana can kind of play on the edges of the fight, essentially, and look for a lot of like Maelstrom damage. Like Jakiro's crappy animations, Naga can like net, but the other heroes can't like deal with Mirana very well if she's on the sides.
this Radiant lineup is really single target, except Lesh. It's the only AoE they have.
He's gonna have Maelstrom. He's gonna have
Storm, Rocket. I mean, it's something, but it doesn't. It's not a lot. It might be enough.
Why does they? I don't think AoE matters that much. Like they can all farm pretty well. Like
Yeah.
and Lesh, Mirana all push, and then like I said, spread on the fight. Don't let that. You don't want to clump against your opponents. You want to just pick off. Like Jakiro's easy to kill. Naga Siren can be easy to kill, and like Gyro Underlord have to be a little careful. If Mirana gets farmed enough. Like I think the only thing they have to do, that our team has to do, is make sure they can win the mid matchup, whatever it is.
Yeah. That's tough to ensure, though. I think there's a lot of matchups that aren't that great for Mirana. But she also doesn't really get trashed completely by anything
She's
anymore.
got good range at least.
She used to have a lot of bad matchups. Low hero damage. Her animation I don't find to be that great either.
Their projectile speed just really
It's
low. That's
pretty
the problem,
meh,
I think.
but let's see. Dragon Knight.
Well,
All
he's
right.
gonna be okay mid, or Mirana will be at least.
Yeah.
I love Espada's lineup, I gotta
Yeah, me
say.
too.
They look so strong, especially when they go together. Have a great way to stop the fights if they don't like it. The Naga Siren with Underlord, Dragon Knight, pretty beefy. Also naturally builds into BKB. Same goes for Gyro, so a lot of this magical damage will be mitigated. I think once they get Pipe and BKBs, I really don't see Windstrike winning their game. Unless somehow they snowball with the Lycan. but it's gonna be hard. It's hard to fight for Radiant's lineup into the Roche Pit against Jakiro, Underlord, Naga. They just need time to build items on ESPADA, and I don't think they're gonna lose this game.
It looks good. Yeah, they always have such good drafts. They always have like 2 tower hitters. Like they check all the boxes. Everything synergizes perfect. It's great.
Yeah, and normally it seems like they're in the position where their matchup doesn't work out too well against their opponents, but they just play through it and manage to make it work. So if they're coming into this one with a draft-favored matchup, I guess we'll see Winstrike's play skill if they're going to be able, because the spot have been playing very well today, and with the matchup they favor, it's hard not to, well, favor them overall.
The thing I like about Winstrike's lineup is it's good for them, like the way they like to play. It's very aggressive. It has a lot of potential for high-risk, high-reward plays with heroes like Mirana and Lycan. They are not going to play a slow game. I think they totally understand what ESPADA is trying to do. They understand the strength of their lineup, and they will try to disrupt it as much as possible with early chaos, I think. And if there's one CIS team right now that likes playing a bit crazy and fast early, it is this Winstrike team. So I just, from how I view Dota, I like the Dire's lineup more, but I can definitely see Radiant winning with just really fast and strong execution. It's a harder to execute lineup, basically, but it can win.
Yeah, it's when you think about it, easy or hard to execute. The Dire lineup just needs to go together, get some items. Their heroes are not that hard to play. Unlike, let's say, Lycan, you have Lash, Mirana, Hookshot. You're relying on hitting those abilities, and it's not hard for the Dire lineup.
Yep.
You know what I noticed?
What?
There was no chat wheel lines in that previous series.
That was so nice.
And
but now No Fear is back.
Yeah, well, Winstrike though definitely have chat wheel lines, and they've already spanned them out. Man, I realized now how nice it was, and now that's gone. Here we go. Swings out for the early bounty rune already from both teams. A 3v3. Arrow is not going to find a mark at all. It is going to be grabbed up, though, from the Radiant side, so they get 3.
That could have been a first blood if they skilled Firestorm. I think he...
Still
now
going
he
for
uses
it. Turnaround. Firestorm's done. They're going to go ahead and get the first pick off there on Jakiro.
What was that? They waited the entire fight before they used Firestorm instead of using it on the rune. Nice arrow.
Baited him into thinking that they didn't have too many skills to work with, but they certainly have a lot of firepower here. They may end up getting another. They do.
Oh my god, the damage overtime from Dual Breath and Firestorm.
It's quite ridiculous here, and they're not done yet. There's another Dual Breath. Jakiro flexing his ridiculously high mana pull early in this game.
Oh, nice stun.
Are you
He's
serious? He's living. He's walking away. The salve's already popped, and everything's fine. 1-1 already.
I don't think Dire should be happy with the outcome of that rune fight. I think if they just drop a Firestorm on that rune, they get the rune and a Lesh First Blood.
And they, what, took 1 rune only?
Did they get
Dire
one?
only
Dire
got
took 1 rune, yeah.
Only got 1.
Dire got 1 rune, and
Naga
they lost
wants
First
the
Blood.
suicide.
It's not good.
Those dragons. The dragons, Dakota.
Oh,
the
what
dragons.
happened? What?
Not Jakiro. Dragons.
Oh, those dragons. They have Team Dragon, dude. They have Sir Davian and Jakiro. So
that is pretty confusing.
There's way too many dragons in this game.
It's easiest to suicide to the boys.
Dragon Knight is owning mid, by the way.
He is. I just noticed that before. He's doing wonderful work. 8-2 to Maran is now 3-1, and Clockwork also is doing mighty fine against the Gyrocopter. Gyro has no CS yet.
Yeah, this
He
is a
just
hard
got
game.
to the lane, and now there is a Arcane Bolt wielding Skywrath Mage waiting for him. Well, Naga's trying to help deal with that, but the second she steps away from the lane, they're going to converge onto her. No Fear's taunting her away. Cog to bump her back.
That was not on purpose.
Yeah, and she gets some wiggle room to make it away.
Well, at least Gyro's getting some CS on top. 3 CS. It's also solo XP for him.
Lag.
LAGG.
There has been a bit of that today, though, apparently for these players. So, a couple pauses here and there. All right. Well, as the dust settles, let me just evaluate how some of these lanes are going. Yeah. All right, never mind.
No fear.
Pretty much as we were saying before, though, DK's still kind of up on the head. he's going to pretty much do as he pleases. That mighty regen isn't going to falter too much to Miran or on her own.
He even has 2 mangoes.
Nope, not anymore.
Jokes on you, he has 1.
Should you just lay down, syndereN?
Oh, what? They get a kill on the top lane. Sorry, I was fixed on this bottom lane because they were making an approach on the always want to fly, but the takedown of the gyro from the clock is actually huge in this top lane. And he's back already. Gives him a little cog kick. And it looks like Skyrath's going to head back. He needs more mana.
Yep.
Mangoes for everybody, though, on the side of ESPADA.
The biggest concern out of this laning stage for ESPADA is how bad Gyro's doing. I think playing Gyro from behind is not necessarily the worst, because with levels he can at least make plays. But his timing in this game is... It's really important for them to be able to make plays that Gyro is available. I don't see them killing stuff very easily without him. They don't have much burst damage, so Gyro needs to be part of plays. And, well, the more he loses this lane, the more he's delayed on that.
Even if Gyro loses the lane, the Dragon Knight is their tool to come back. He's on top of CS chart, having a really good time on the mid lane.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a bit. Every time the lane moves forward, Gyro does not feel comfortable getting to the lane. As you can see, Naga is not able to be by his side because Skyrath is just chasing her away. Meanwhile, still trading out between both sides here. They're letting the Lycan and the Underlord square off in the lane while these supports are mashing it out.
It's actually dead, I think.
Haste rune up.
Oh.
She's running towards the top. Not going to get catch on the stun, but the Gyrocopter does get the finish up there. And every time I think someone's breaking out here in this bottom lane, they just miss their opportunity, and it's top who actually gets it done.
Oh, Mirana hasted.
But here we go. I got this one. The hasted Mirana makes her way all the way up and finishes off the Naga.
Definitely. I feel like you did not miss a kill there. I feel like Lesh missed a kill there. That was not your fault.
Thanks, man.
Should just hit that stun. Sometimes you miss. Electric's stun is a bit tricky to land, but I feel like on a Jakiro without boots, you just fake cast it once, you see his movement trajectory, and you'll get it immediately. But missed it that time around.
Mirana's wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
She's losing a lot of CS and a lot of experience on mid. Dragon Knight's gonna hit level 6. She's level 5 only. Someone's steeping mid. That's a Lash. Just place the ward.
There's bounty runes now. 2 for each, it looks like.
Yeah, well, Clock got hit, the one up here, and Dyer's going to get everything on the bottom. You seem to be right. Lycan's crawling back some good CS, 27 and 10. Underlord at 14 and 2 in that adjacent lane matchup. He's getting closer to the arcane boots. But is this a pipe first game or a Vanguard first kind of game?
I think it's pipe. Everything they have right
Hood
now
right
and
away.
for the next 15 minutes is going to be pretty much only magical. What do you say, Sind?
I'm not sure. I feel like it's actually a difficult choice to make. I'll tell you one thing though, he needs both.
Yeah.
So.
What about you get the health booster and then build pipe?
The tricky thing is if you only get the straight pipe, your health pool is relatively like low, and you can get solo killed by Lycan. But if you buy maybe Vanguard into pipe, I think is the best.
Yeah.
The pipe timing, he wants to have it around the time that these mid-game team fights are going to come out, and I think that's doable with the Vanguard first with the amount of farm he has. Oh, not again.
Nope.
This time he was even out of Invis. Well, you're in the right place again, Dakota, but the stun isn't.
Yeah, always want to fly is definitely struggling a little bit with the cast timing on that stun.
Always want to miss.
Got it. Okay, here we go. Non-grata. Putting out the battery assault onto Immersion. Walks himself into a rocket barrage and a homing missile. They followed up with Ensnare, but there's no additional damage, so
They have a shrine.
Oh, he has a mango, actually. They could have probably killed him with a pooled mango from Naga onto the gyro.
oh yeah, feed him.
Yep.
Feed him delicious mango. But they'll just instead go tag up on the shrine and heal up from there.
God, this gyro's numbers do not look good.
DK numbers look good. 40-16.
Yeah, he's having a great game. So how much damage is he doing with this dragon form? This is
Nothing.
nothing?
Yep, he already used just to
He got nothing out of that.
harass.
Okay. This is the main tricky thing. This is a classic thing that always happens in Dragon Knight games. Dragon Knight sits mid. If the enemy mid hero leaves, you Dragon Form and start hitting his tower. In this case, that makes it a bit harder for Mirana to roam and look for kills. If he's doing it bottom right now, Dragon Knight will definitely start hitting this tower.
Run in now, looking to go on the Jakiro with assistance coming in from Iceberg. They try to right-click him down. They'll get the finish. Oh, nice catch with the stun, with the arrow. Always want to fly, gets that one done. And that is going to be a 2 takedown, gank rotation to the bottom lane. That does mean the Dragon Knight is going to pop a new form and try to do as much work as possible onto this tier 1, but the Mirana's already back. Trying to slow him down.
He's more than a full level behind on Mirana. That's pretty rare that we see this
Almost
in a lane.
2 levels.
Without a kill.
Well,
That's pretty rare.
she left lane twice.
Yeah, but that's...
Oh,
But
a
why?
regen for a Dragon Knight. How convenient.
Yum. Stop that regen. Nice.
Stop that pigeon. Oh.
Nice. Pretty sidestep
Oh,
there.
less accuracy on stun.
It's like
is,
3 out of
1 and
4.
4? 1 and 4? Something
Yeah.
like that?
That one was hard though. That one is a
Yeah.
very understandable miss.
That should have been just a pump fake, but it's all good. All right, getting close to level 6 on our clockwork. Could enable some additional opportunities here, but it looks like an opportunity may arise for ESPADA. Here comes Naga rolling on in. Leads things in with the ensnare, the homing missile right after. Rocket barrage, but it's a little close to the tower. Naga says, I'm not having any of this. Has to pull out away, and that opportunity's gone.
Now he might get a... never mind. I thought that he might go for it. He's gonna hit level 6 right now.
Oh, the gyro. Yeah.
Clockwork.
Oh, clockwork might go
Yeah.
for it. Oh.
So what is likely to happen now is that the next shapeshift will be used to...
2 out of 5.
Oh,
You got
Yep.
that one, and the root was there,
he's dead.
but
No boots.
Misha can't make it away. Jakiro kind of slow as it is, but with no boots certainly moves like molasses at that point.
So in this kind of a game where you don't have a good early start on a Jakiro, I'd prefer him to get max ice path right now and 1 point in macro fire. Because he's not gonna cast.
This is the biggest kill of the game.
Yes, it is. That first hook shot is a great catch onto the DK under the tower. The extra damage is there. And you know, even DK has to applaud the clockwork on that one, gives him a tip, because it was a well-played gank. There's some good manners there. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to give us a kill on the Skywrath Mage. Finally, the Gyro able to get his hands dirty in some action. And scores himself a kill.
So shapeshift is ready. Unlike at this time in the game, you really want to use that cooldown when it's available. So I'm curious what the play of choice is going to be for Sound. Oh, that's
No, it's Arcane
also,
Rune,
also really
then the
convenient.
Shapeshift.
Yeah, I think he wants to dive mid and get the tower. They will try to go for this Dragon Knight kill.
Here comes the Shapeshift. Here comes the Wolf. Concussive shots there. Rotation's already coming from Jakiro. But guess what? He doesn't have Ice Path, so he can't stop anything.
They're both going to die now.
Oh, man. Everyone's showing up so late. Is this a straight-up chain feed?
No, Underlord, no.
Straight-up chain feed?
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
The third kill could be there. The Wolves need to go into the trees to find him and nibble him down, and they'll get it done.
Oh, my God.
Are we going to
No.
go for a fourth chain feed? Maybe.
Dude, are
Yes.
you kidding me?
Yep.
What is
Okay.
it?
Oh.
This is the classic 3-2-2.
Oh. You can't 3-2 if you're not ahead, man. Can you? Does that count?
This
That
counts.
was the most
Oh,
uncharacteristic
that
thing
was-
I've seen ESPADA do all day.
Oh,
That
that
was
was
just
ugly.
a straight-up chain feed. The long TP just screwed them over so bad. They may get a sympathy takedown here on the Mirana. A good grab. They will lose their Jakiro, but yeah, still kind of bleeding out here a bit. ESPADA tried to at least bandage wrap what they can.
So they got 4 kills out of that, plus they got the tower. And the Lycan ulti is going to be ready in 15 seconds because of that Arcane Rune.
He's going to be eager to use that again. If
Yeah.
they get 4 kills per use of that, this is going to be a short game.
If he gets another 4 kills out of it, that would be something special. He may spot Naga. He has Shapeshift, and they rotated one, but he's not going to pull the trigger. Instead, they may be heading their way through the bottom lane.
Both supports inside of ESPADA are extremely weak right now. Level 5, both of them. So they don't contribute too much to the team fight. No Song. Jakiro doesn't deal damage at this point. He needs to get the ulti up.
Actually,
Once they get levels on their heroes, I still think ESPADA can do it. They just need those levels to control the Lycan and have the damage output.
Everyone's coming into play here. No stun connection. A fight for the tower last hit. It's going to belong to Nyx. Jumping from the back. It's going to be Clockwork. Follow-up Mystic Flare combo, and your DK is gone.
Oh, this Lesh is hurting. This is a support.
Lesh, though, walking in, burning through everybody else. 3 go down. Didn't even cost him a shapeshift for that one, but man.
That's the dream type of fight for a position. Is he 5? 5 Lesh. He actually gets to Pulse Nova and cast his spells like 3 times each against 3 heroes. Generally, you will just die as a 5 in these positions, but the tank was empty from ESPADA. Here we go again.
Full Vanguard first after this Arcane Boots. Silent coming in, looking to go for Underlord strikes plus a tower takedown. Gets the tower after rotations come.
And Dragon Knight will be forced to go for a straight BKB after drums. Clockwork's pretty much always on top of him, and this is the correct play from Clockwork. A
crockpot work. Unfortunately, you know, Gyro also mending things up, going for drums. There's just going to be no damage for ESPADA, and they're not going to get time to farm up. The action continues. Uh-oh, always one fly, just moving in confidently as he has the Mirana ulting, but there is a sentry on the ground. So, you know, he's kind of the guinea pig for that gank. And once they see him drop, they just pull their focus elsewhere.
This is starting to become a really big lead. It's about 7,000 gold lead when this top tier 1 falls.
This is such a good Clockwork game. So much uncontrollable damage on ESPADA. Gyro's Flak, Rocket Barrage, Firestorm, plus Jakiro as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're pinging him out. They see him coming over, but they're not really in fighting shape at the moment.
They're gonna need to stall this game for another 15 minutes at least on side of ESPADA if they wanna somehow manage the contest. It's gonna be really hard. This Lycan is extremely farmed.
They can even Roche, I imagine, in the near future if they like, without really too much trouble from ESPADA. They do have Naga Song, which is always a bit of a problem. And I guess it is a choke point, so Jakiro gets some levels, and Underlord could definitely throw down, or look to throw down near that pit. Okay, though. Not if it comes after a bad fight. Looks like they do get the jump, though, onto the Clockwork. Can they burst him down first? Yes. That's a good lead-in, and always want to fly. Could hand over another.
Oh!
Yeah, he gets a huge stun, and somehow does manage to help Assistant, bursting apart. Not one but 2 members here. Still survives, looks to fight on, and in fact, they got to get the hell out. Always want to fly, wants to chase him down and says, no, don't go anywhere.
That's a good bail.
Holy shit, what a stun. That made up for like all of the misses.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, wow, that was perfect.
Just right to the high ground.
What a dream fight again for Lesh. That was the best play of the game. That was so good.
Man. Underlord. Get that pipe going or something, man.
Man, Iceberg is such a boss player. Look at him. 916. He's level 13, and Dragon Knight right now is level 11. At one point, he was 2 levels below him.
Yeah, I heard Iceberg is a very good proactive core player, certainly in that mid lane. Whether it's Mirana or Storm, he definitely is good about making opportunities happen. And simply pulled himself back after just so much taking action on this Mirana. Looks like he's going to go for the Dragon Lance next. She's got kind of a lame right click, so the range will help.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of game that you finish Pike in.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's okay against Pit of Malice, I guess, but...
Yeah, and Dragon Knight stun just to get someone out.
True, he could save his teammates. I feel
or
like he's
you
not
can
gonna go
use
that
it
route,
on Gyro's rocket, so it hits you
Oh.
faster, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, in case you want to just get the stun over with.
though. No, if you have Pike, you
Oh, you push
push
back.
yourself away. You kill
Yeah.
the rocket with Pike.
Yes.
That's pretty useful for that.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were making
I meant
a joke
just
like you
the
want to force
staff.
the rocket into
you
myself
can with the
faster.
staff, right?
It's like, yeah, you know, just in case they're anticipating the stun to start later, I'm just going to start it now and throw their whole groove off. I don't think it's how that works.
And it's good stats for Mirana. I know that ADR plays a really good bottom, and he pretty much always gets the... I'll keep forgetting the name of the item.
Dragonlance?
Dragonlance, yeah.
Oh, now there's even
And,
more
don't,
dragons
and
in the
doesn't
game.
upgrade it, yeah.
More dragons in the game, yeah.
Yeah.
When in doubt, name something dragon blank or blank dragon.
Yeah.
It's Ice Frog's world. All right, back into action now. Heavy favorites in the moment, belonging to Win Strike. 17-6, and nearly a 10K net worth advantage. Ball in their court.
I've seen more Lycans picking up Blade Mail as their third item after Helmet Dominator and Necrobook.
Really?
Yeah, against uncontrollable damage. This might be the game, but he goes in a different direction, at least what he has queued up. So going for a pipe, just to tank up, mitigate a lot of damage from the Firestorm and Jakiro.
I like both items.
Yeah.
They're both good here. Blade Mail could be cool too. For sure. The benefit of the pipe is it makes a world of difference for a hero like Leshrac. When you're playing a support, Lesh getting that barrier on you is often going to be the difference between life and death.
Yeah,
and that is so much damage.
That's probably Lesh's suggestion. He's asking, what should I buy? Should I go Blade Mill or pipe? Go pipe.
Yeah.
Jump in, right on the clockwork of all the people. Wow, he didn't even look like he was much of a hero.
Oh, they even used Song there. That is bad. No, they didn't. Wait, what? I'm seeing things. I swear I was seeing those waves come out. I'm tripping.
Yeah, we didn't get much sleep, syndereN.
No.
Maybe she tried to wave the hands and did a quick cancel or something, but still holds it. And they have 10 seconds before Gyro's even back, but they are going to be chunking their way through this tier 2. There's the song, just as Lycan begins to run in.
Told you there was a song.
Looking to line up the ice path. Nice catch there. Dual breath.
This is a good kill if they can get it.
Can they get Lycan down? It's taking a bit of effort. Mystic Flare is going to possibly cost their DK for it. They got him with another ice path and another route. Finally, they bring him down. Does cost them that DK. They're looking for the follow-up onto the Lesh, but he starts firing out his Edict. Naga has to step off. Finally, they'll be able to crowd around and get him done. 3 for 1. But all the meanwhile, Lady Mirana, Iceberg, top lane, finishing off this tier 2 and farming away.
That was definitely a little bit too cocky from Silent. He tanked for so long. If he would have had his hood there, he would have lived, actually. But, yeah. In behind enemy lines, gets caught by the song. And they do end up painting a little bit. But it's not the end of the world. Trading, what was that, a 3 for 1 or 3 for 2? They killed the Dragon Knight. Anyone else?
I think just a Dragon Knight.
So 3 for 1, but they lose a tier 1, tier 2 top. Yeah, it's...
I think they just need 2 BKBs and a Crimson Guard, and they can take a fight on side of ESPADA. Gyro's getting close to his. Well, just Soldier Axe. Dragon Knight has way more farm.
Yeah. They have one chance, I think. They get one fight. If they lose that, the game's over. They have to win the fight where they get those key items in. And they will be fighting into an Aegis, as it looks.
And Jakiro is stream sniping. He's maxing that ice path.
It's a shame that they're not in good fighting shape for this because it's definitely a kind of a location where ESPADA could really do their best work, but it looks like all the ducks are in a row here for Wind Strike. They move in on a great timing to get the Roche. They have some supports to kind of look and scout things out, and they're even on the move to set up a kill for them.
Oh, just use the ulti.
The hunt is out. Mirana ulti? Dude. Oh, oof. Doesn't see.
BZZ.
He could rocket again.
Rocket, just rocket in there, just to see if there was any man left behind. He's like, yeah, no, I'll rocket to check.
Yeah,
he's greedy.
Wrong way. Fuck.
Oh.
Sorry, Jakiro, gotta go. Tries to get the hell out, emerging.
Oh, clip.
Nice clipping of the stun there, just on the cusp.
What level is this
Iceberg
stun?
to get the finish.
Stun on who?
2.
This is a really unusual support Lesh build, by the way. I
2,
thought
3,
it looked
4.
like a
Yeah,
level
he
stun.
doesn't have mana to cast all his spells. Edict, Lightning Storm, ulti.
Most of the time, Leshrac supports go 4-0-4 because they can't come in close and really use the Edict, and it's primarily good for pushing towers. But in this case, he's feeling it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rusty start, but he's been definitely hitting a good Lesh stride right now. setups.
Well, their base defense is amazing. They have
that's
pull
true.
down.
That's true.
You have Underlord and Jakiro.
Yeah.
Like, what more can you ask for? Level 25 Lich and 3
Keeper of
Int.
the Light. Yeah, it's like they definitely have a stellar lineup.
Pit
Oh,
of
they
Malice.
smoked.
That Pit of Malice looked like something out of Star Trek.
I don't like that Pit of Malice cosmetic. Kind
What?
of like the normal one better. Yeah,
I
don't
think
know.
this one is really
Looks
well.
weird.
This could be Arcana.
Oh, you're crazy.
I don't even play Underlord, but it looks amazing.
He doesn't even
Or you
like,
could
look
buy the
cool.
entire Star Trek collection for $35.
Are you a Trekkie?
I've watched a little bit, a long time.
You're
ago,
a Trekkie.
but no. I mean, I like what I saw, so I guess, but no, I haven't watched the whole show at all.
Battlestar Galactica is superior in every way. I actually didn't watch that show either. And I'm going to watch Always Want to Fly.
This
His
is the-
show's canceled.
This is the worst kill that they can get. At least it's something.
Oh, it's even worse if, as a response, they're able to get a hold of this gyro, but a song will be forced out just in the nick of time, or not! The Rocket with the Arcane Bolt will get him down. They'll get the Naga too.
Why didn't he TP right away? And Naga stays on the left side of the map, so who? Skyrat can't approach?
I
This
think
is
there
a
were
huge
maybe
mistake.
an arrow from downtown would suddenly come or something. Yeah, I don't know. They felt like they needed to hide before the TP could go.
That's going to cost them buybacks. Underlord and Dragon Knight can't hold this long.
20 seconds otherwise if they
I think
want
they
to
wanna
wait it
force
out.
another one.
Otherwise, they're just banking all. Ooh, that arrow just came short from finishing onto that Underlord.
Dragon form.
Oh, nice two-man catch with the pit. It's going to easily finish up that Skywrath Mage. Clockwork also stunned up quite a bit. That's the third stun there. Lycan, in the meantime, they just kind of shred through this bottom
He
tier
should
3.
use that Crimson Guard for tower.
How much is Mirana doing?
Morana's on top lane. She's gonna kill the tower.
Yep. Oh, no. BKB to safely make it away.
That's worth using losing Clock Sky for. They got a tier 3 and almost a second tier 3, and they got a buyback out of Naga. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Could have probably done it a little bit cleaner, where they only lose Skyrath maybe, but they basically walked in to make space for the Lycan to hit bottom.
Full Delta split. Works out pretty well here for Wind Strike. So, ESPADA back on their own defensive move here. We'll get some wards down, mend things as they can. But this, what was once 10k network advantage, is getting closer to 15 at this rate.
This is the classic CIS build. 2 bracers on a support Lash. Just tank it up. Now we even have technology to upgrade 2 bracers.
Or Ars Art Lesh. Oh, those
Yeah,
are
you can just get a rod later.
Yeah, he is getting Atos. He's pretty close to it actually. Should increase his stun accuracy quite a bit. He's been doing good for the last 15 minutes. It's just like you said, a rusty start. He's been playing a phenomenal mid game actually.
Yeah.
Super good.
I'm not even sure if Lesh is something they've been rotating in a lot for the supports, but they're making it work now. And buddy system here for ESPADA. No one can really be side pushing on their own. They continue to get punished by any sort of approach, like the one Clockwork is trying to make now, guiding his way through on the back of a Mirana ulti. And this provides all that extra bit of intel and information for his team now too. So
how close is Underlord to having the double?
Soon, like 500 gold away.
Even less, 300. If they get this tower and he gets away from the ladder.
I wonder why Jakiro, he didn't pick a talent. He had Book on level 20 and didn't even pick it.
Take XP talent.
Yeah, of course. Especially when you have Book ready. Oh, the tower didn't die.
the boys are back. And okay. Wow, that's a lot of hefty damage already. And the finish onto the Lesh. Jumping from the Clockwork, looking to lock him down. They do get an ensnare on the Iceberg, but Iceberg already unloading. Gets the finish onto that Jakiro. Now
Meanwhile,
puts the focus
lane.
onto the tier 3, but yeah, meanwhile, Lycan doing big bad wolf things as he blows down the houses in the southern half of the map. The rest of the team diverting the attention from ESPADA elsewhere. Looks like ESPADA have realized what's happening, but by the time Gyro can get there, it's already going to be too late. Meanwhile, looks like they will roast up the Chicken Man. And Naga's like, come back! Come back! Can't get that far. Long gone. And they're just chasing everybody
Not
out of the
loud
base
enough.
now.
He seems pretty dead.
Wants the man fight. Oh, the Necro Book is doing a lot. Actually forces out the BKB. And Gyro's like, this one's on you, DK. Don't let him go.
All right, not another Quelling Blade juke from Lycan, please. Oh, okay.
He doesn't have it.
He doesn't even have it. He didn't even need it.
Okay. Look at the amount of region. 40%. Not even 40.
39.9. So don't even give him that 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 average up right there to 40.
Dragon Form ran out. Also, I think they do get the Lycan there. But Sound will be very happy with surviving. And even forcing a BKB charge.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Okay, so his job is done. They get the racks. They didn't manage to finish off the tier 3, so that's a little small, tiny little feather in the cap of ESPADA.
Best silver lining ever.
They're about to rip that feather out of the hat, shove him into a hurt locker, though, as they get the quick finish. Onto that Naga. Gyro could be next. He's frantic. He says, I want to call my homeboys. I want to do the call down. Stop. They drop the Macro Pyre in the Ice Path, but they're going to die outside the base, and this is going to be bad.
They have so much vision. With the rocket, you have Mirana who's using ulti to scout the wolves. Pretty hard to play against.
I do believe this is a second lane of Rex. Or maybe not. They have a wave bottom. No, they don't have a wave? Oh, I thought he was pushing with the wave here. No,
nope.
Okay.
Nope,
they managed to.
His artificial wave.
At least they cut the waves nicely on the Dire. It cost them 3,000 gold, but they cut the waves. That's maybe the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals ever, actually. Delaying the game.
I love BMA from Gyro. He had Aghanims queued up, then he adds Maelstrom and Satanic. He wants to play this game for another 30 minutes.
It might just be a mental thing. He like sees all the items that he will definitely get.
Yeah, I mean, that's the build, no matter what.
Need 15,000 gold, guys. Just hold on. Hang in there.
Yep. Everyone getting quite yoked out on the wind strike time. So.
No Fear hadn't used the chat line for 30 seconds, so his cooldown was ready again.
I mean, he's
you wanna make sure you use those when they're off cooldown. See if he finds an arcane rune.
Yeah,
so
same
he can
goes
do it
for
a bit
Midas.
faster.
Oh, imagine if Arcane Rune made you use chat wheel non-stop.
Yeah, that would be the chat rune.
Makes all chat lines all chat. And none cooldown.
Oh, can they get the skill?
This is a big one.
Yeah, this is not how
and
you
it's gone.
gank Mirana, who has a BKB. Just try to run in with the Dragonite from Fog.
Boo!
The only catch they had there was actually an ice path from the tree line. If the ice path catches, maybe they can connect, but else they have no other way of getting it.
This kind of looks like desperation from them. They don't want to be stuck in base because they're gonna get out-farmed. But that's the only way to come back into the game because they have no initiation tool whatsoever.
Oh, dude. She almost shot down that Jakiro.
Oh, there's so much damage this beat.
Ults out. Good work onto the DK. Clockwork trying to make it out. Iceberg says, forget it. I'm jumping in. Let's just go. He's putting all of his focus onto the gyrocopter. They try to song her, but she already has the BKB out, so now they're trying to use that advantage to isolate her alone. They get her with the Ice Path, they get her with a dual breath, and they get the kill. But now, here comes Lesh, and here comes Clock, and here comes Sky, and they're going to clean up everybody else. 3 get dropped. Underlord going to be forced to buy back out. They're looking to go for the finish onto the Naga. They'll get her too. She has no buyback at all. Underlord stepping in from that buyback, trying to stop them as much as possible. Meanwhile, they do get the snipe finish onto the Jakiro, and the game has been called. ESPADA throw in the towel, and it's going to be game 1 to Windstrike.
They just won that team fight 4 and 5. Lycan didn't even join. He was pushing top at the same time. So. Oh, it's a really convincing win. If this is how the rest of his qualifier is going to go, they're not going to lose a game this playoffs. Like Windstrike just looked way better than ESPADA, and they beat the other team in the upper bracket. So I didn't watch the games earlier when Windstrike played. How did that go? The first series they played in the upper bracket?
We only got to here and we jumped into the ESPADA
so
game.
nobody saw those games.
No, they started early, so we couldn't see
They
it.
2-0'd, I know that much.
Yeah, we said it's a good day for them, so no surprise there.
I don't know, but dude, ESPADA was also having a great day. Like,
Yeah,
now I don't know.
Iceberg having a good day.
Well, listen, that's just game 1. So now, after game 2, we'll know for sure. Either Winstrike are just, playing the best Dota in the qualifier right now, no question, and ESPADA are just a strong number 2, or, ESPADA come back here in game 2 and suddenly have like a super close series. But even with, ESPADA's lineup here, and I think most of us favored their lineup, right?
I like
nice.
both
You said that
lineups for
they had
reasons.
to execute, right? They had to execute.
Yeah.
They did.
Yep.
Credit to them. But
I don't
ESPADA
think
had
it
been
was a-
executing decently even with disadvantaged drafts. So I'm like,
I don't
pretty
think it
nervous
was
here.
an outpick, personally. I think the lineups had different strengths. I thought the Dire lineup was going to be easier to play, but something that this Winstrike team is really, really good at is playing fast. That's basically how they got third at Epicenter. They make moves constantly. They play super aggressively. They don't give the enemy time to breathe. That's how they beat the likes of Virtus Pro. That's how they could have 2-0'd Liquid that tournament. They were so
ganked
close to going all the way to the finals.
In that game, they just ganked better and faster with Clockwork. All of his rotations in the early game were super fast and always resulted in like core kills a lot of times. And then the Mirana's rotations were all really good. And then in the offlane, they were constantly, or in their safe lane, the Radiant safe lane, they were just constantly fighting. It felt like watching a VP game where they're just constantly fighting their opponents, and it creates these cracks where, like, even though ESPADA was really good, eventually they outplay them in these long engagements, and then they just add it up with their fast rotations, and eventually it's like
I gotta give credit to Silent. He played amazingly well. All the
Great
rotations,
on
every time the ulti was up, that rotation on a mid lane, the tower plus 4 kills.
Are you talking about the Dire rotation
Oh,
in one by
another
one?
ra-
or-
yeah.
No,
Yeah. Whose
mid
rotation
lane when
was
they
it?
TP'd in one at a time. Oh my god.
Basically,
That was it.
I think the goal advantage at that time was 2K, so it was a lane win for the Radiant, and then they got that one fight that swung it by another 3. I feel like that moment I was just like, okay, this game is like actually out of control already. That was a bad sign for ESPADA because that looked like they were panicking and that they didn't have time to react. They're playing against a team that's so fast that their standard, okay, let's plan our next move, let's move together, get ready, go, kind of what their draft also wanted to do, like, okay, clump up, get ready for our next move. You don't get time to think like that against this team. You got to be faster. If teams are playing fast and strong against you, you have to be able to match. Like, you can't just be slow and expect to come back like this.
That's more classic CIS Dota to me, like full Divide mode. I mean, Virtus Pro were like at their peak when they were full bloodthirsty like that, and then they eventually learned how to like restrain and pull back. Like maybe they would sweep out and then have a hard time breaking into the base and get a little too bloodthirsty. We saw little bits of there with Winstrike, so they still have to like work on that a bit.
Yeah,
but
VP has way more discipline than.
But Winstrike could be
other
that next
CIS
VP
teams.
team if they get that kind of discipline too. I mean, I don't know who their leader is and how he can like crowd them together, but the bloodthirsty part is certainly there. The CIS Dota is certainly there. The Divide, if you will. They have all that going for them. So it's going to be an exciting game number 2. Why don't we go ahead and just throw it to a break, and when we come back, we'll get ready for that matchup as we continue Winstrike versus ESPADA.